Good, it's your boy Dre King live in the building.
It's laid like the chips, yes sir.
It's your boy Brock all day.
You already know what it is, man. We got a special guest in the building, man. Zoolander, he in the building, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take it back for y'all, you know what I'm saying? We're going to let him introduce himself, even though I just said his name. But we're going to let him, you know what I'm saying, talk his shit today, you know what I'm saying, with his podcast going on in the city. And he's doing major big things. And, man, I love his interviews, so we're going to let him talk and speak for himself.
All right. Yo, what's up? They call me devynZoolander. Was good for the goose, is good for the gander. And I look good on camera. You know I look good on camera.
Hey, yeah, I know what it is. Let's go, man. Let's turn it up real quick, man, for Zoolander and let him know how Vibship TV rock out.
Get it.
Let's go. Go subscribe, all platforms, right now.
First person shooter mode, we turning your son to a funeral. To the just say they don't office, you better be talking about working in cubicles. Yeah, them boys had that lot, but I knew the code. Lot of debating my numero, not the 3, not the 2 on the UNO. Yeah, numero UNO. Me and Drizzy like the Super Bowl, man. Then it big as the.
Oh, you got the edited version?
Run it back.
First person shooter mode, we turning your son to a funeral. To them niggas that say they don't office, you better be talking about working in cubicles. Yeah, them boys had that lot, but I knew the code. Lot of niggas debating my numero, not the 3, not the 2 on the UNO. Yeah, numero UNO. Me and Drizzy, this shit like the Super Bowl. Man, this shit done it big as the. Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what?
Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just 2 guys playing shit that they did in the studio. Niggas usually send their verses back to me and they be terrible, just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women. When they start debating about who the GOAT, I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who you bitches really rooting for? Like a kid that had bad from January to November, nigga, it's just you and Cole.
Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what?
Big as the Super Bowl.
Niggas so thirsty to put me in beef. Dissecting my words and start looking too deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock cause I love the mystique. I still wanna give me a song where I be. Can't trust everything that you saw on IG. Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your call ID. I'm naming the album to fall off. It's pretty ironic cause it ain't no fall off for me. Still in this bitch getting bigger. They waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big 3 like we started a league. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
I'm the great.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the one that they call when they shit ain't connecting no more. Feel like I got a job in IT. Rhyming with me is the biggest mistake. The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. It's like we recruited your homies to be demon deacons. We got them a 10 in your wake. Hey, how the gang got away from the bars, man, this shit like a prison escape. Everybody steppers with fucking and everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate. When I show up, it's motion picture blockbuster. The GOAT with the golden pen, the top toucher, the spot rusher. Spray this whole shit up, the crop duster. Not Russia, but apply pressure to your cranium. Cold's automatic when aiming them. With the boy in the status of stadium. Nigga.
Hey, y'all know what time it is. Vibship TV, we in the building, let's go.
Hey, I'm about to.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm about to click out on this shit. I'm about to click. Whoa. I'm about to click out on this shit. I'm about to click. Whoa. I'm down to click out on you hoes and make a crime scene. I click the trigger on a stick like a high beam. And I would Benny Will whip when I was 19. She called my number, leave her hanging. She got dry clean. She got an Android, her messages is lime green. I search one name and end up seeing 20 teens. Nadine, Christine, Justine, Kathleen, Charlene, Pauline, Claudine. Man, I pack them in this phone like some sardines. And they send me naked pictures, it's the small things. You niggas still taking pictures on a golf stream. My youngest richer than you rappers and they all stream. I really hate that you been selling them some false dreams. Man, if your pub was up for sale, I buy the whole thing. Will they ever give me flowers? Well, of course not. They don't wanna have that talk cause it's a sore spot. They know the boy the one they got a boycott. I told Jimmy Jam I use a Grammy as a doorstop. Girl, give me some hair because I need it. And if I fuck with you, then after I might eat it. Niggas talking about when this gon' be repeated. What the fuck, bro? I'm one away from Michael, nigga. Beat it, nigga. Beat it. What? 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 Beat it.
I know what time it is. Vibship TV.
Don't even pay me back on none of the favors. I don't need it.
Hey, I know what time it is, man. Go subscribe, man. Go subscribe right now.
Right now.
Vibship TV, we in the building, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's get into it, you know what I'm saying? This is another interview for the people, man. Just let y'all know. Man, Vibship TV, if you don't know what we all about, man, we all about the vibes. We all about the ship. You on the ship, you know what I'm saying? You an entrepreneur, and you catching one of those vibes right now. And we got my man right here, man, Zoolander, man, going in about a lot of different things, man. I call him the 90s, you know what I'm saying, kid, because he's like, you know what I'm saying? He might even be older than me, but it's just like, bro, you bring me back to that original life that we used to have before we had what we got right now. We got social media, you got sexy rig going on, you got all this wild stuff going on. But you know what I mean? Back when black culture was like almost the purest unity you ever seen in its purest form, and that we try and get back to that.
Word, definitely. Well, first of all, thank you, my three brothers, for letting me come on the show.
Absolutely.
Definitely a fan of what y'all do. And as somebody that does this every day, it's good when you can look on the other side and you see what somebody else is doing. It's kind of like when Allen Iverson is doing his thing, speaking of the 90s, and then he sees Kobe, and it's just like, all right, the guy represents, he recognizes the other guy over there. So thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, absolutely.
Put it like this: we seen you hooping on the other side, man.
For sure.
Right. No doubt. We both getting our shots
We
up.
see you putting up them numbers.
Yeah,
man.
even though I'm ass in basketball, but
I don't know, man. You from Philly, man.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
All right.
You Iverson right now.
okay,
man.
cool. I'll be Iverson then. I'll be Iverson as long as I don't have to play. Yeah.
As long as I have to play.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to say, starting off, tell the people about yourself and like, where did you come from, bro? How was your upbringing?
All right. So I was born and raised in Philadelphia. I ain't gonna sing the song like Will.
I was just about to say.
Cause he from West and I'm from West Oak Lane, so it's the northwest part of Philly. But I was raised primarily by my mom. My dad, he was in my life, but also he had some challenges that he had to work through that kind of took him out the household. Eventually we moved away from him, and when it came to trying to have a positive male role model, we had to lean on other people, me and my brother. So it was kind of like a father figure by committee type thing between my grandfather and my uncles, and then eventually my mom, she remarried, and I got a stepdad, and that was a tough thing because it's nothing like when you leave your father and who's like your best friend, but you understand why you can't be around him at this moment. And then you get around somebody else and you like 14 or 15 and some grown man coming to your house, he eating the Captain Crunch, he changing the channel, he doing all this shit. And then if me and my mom got beef, I mean, you know, and I'm young and I'm trying to press my luck. If me and my mom, we got beef, it's like between us, dog. But then he would step in and be like, listen to your mom. And even though it's nothing wrong with telling somebody listen to their mom, it's like, hold up, gang. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that, dog. Back up, dog.
Yeah, you ain't my dad.
No, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I had a stepdad come into my life at 13, 13, 14, and like
I ain't know that, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't never done that. I ain't never
for a
done that.
minute, and I'm the youngest of 5, so it was, of course, he came into my life. I was the only person left at home, but yeah, I can relate to that because, like you said, I'm not gonna say he was a bad guy or anything like that, but just, you know, you do kind of, like you said,
the difference between being
with your age, you know.
Yeah.
Now you got that you know, male figure there to kind of, you know, support, to reinforce your mom's you know, kind of discipline,
her rules
as it
and
were.
stuff.
So, yeah, I can relate to that.
It's like he was back up.
So for sure.
Said, wait a minute, she's out of bullets.
Right. It was definitely like that. And I remember me and my mom, we definitely had some tough times. And I think it's because when we did move away from my dad, I didn't know the reason why at first. So if somebody just removes somebody that's part of your upbringing, especially your father, and you're a young black man, and says like, oh yeah, we gotta move, then even though you my mom, I'm kind of looking at you like you the enemy because I didn't have all the information. She was trying to protect us. But what I ended up going through with my mom is I put her through a lot. Just really every time she tell me turn off the TV or don't eat that, go to bed, and I'm rebelling against everything she's saying. And one time, one of the most shameful moments of my upbringing was when I told my mom I hated her just because she wouldn't let me watch a show. It was probably like a Snick or something on Nickelodeon, and she wouldn't let me watch whatever show it was, 𝐒𝐞𝐞, whatever it was. And I told her that I hated her. And at the time, we was living right next door to my grandparents, and my uncle Gerald, he was there too. And my mom was on the phone with him as I told her that I hated her. And he said through the phone, who said that? And then she was like, Devin, dime me out and shit. She said, damn, I know me and you beefing, but we can work it out. We don't need him. We don't need him.
He said, I got it.
I got this shit. But nah, he heard that, and my mom helped raise him. She helped raise him. So he didn't only see her as an older sister. He saw her as like a second mom. And you talking that shit to my sister? No. So he came right over, and I wasn't really I was bad as far as, okay, maybe we stole some do-rags or some Pokemon cards out, but I wasn't bad. I wasn't selling drugs or doing anything. I wasn't in the streets or anything like that. I'm not. We was Sunday school kids, but at that time, that was the baddest I had been. And my uncle came over. I'm about 15 years old. And he gripped me up against the wall, scared the shit out of me. And he was getting the belt. And my mom, she didn't beat us that much. She only beat us a couple times in our whole life. But this dude, and my dad didn't really do that to us. But this dude, he had his belt out, and he's about to whoop my ass. And then my mom, I saw where me and her connected, because she saw the fear in my eyes when I was so scared. And she said, that's enough. And then he backed up off me. But that's what I needed, because I feel like I was really wilding back then. And now that I look at it, when you look at the 10 Commandments and when you hear things like honor thy mother and thy father, you don't say stuff like, especially she ain't do nothing. If all she said was turn off the TV, she didn't hurt me. She ain't trying to kill me or nothing. I'm over here talking shit to her, and she trying to raise 2 boys. So,
Go ahead.
Not
to cut you off,
yeah,
bro.
go ahead.
Let me just ask you real quick. Thinking back on that time, when in that moment that was happening, would you say you feel like you was yearning for that
Male discipline?
that male discipline?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm not going at that age. I'm not going to act like that's what I needed, because in my head, like teenagers, we always right.
Right.
But
But
you already know. So
yeah,
I definitely can relate to that. That's a lot of things that I feel like was going on, and I feel like what's going on in the community though. There's a lot of young fathers that's definitely taking charge now. I definitely see a lot of young. It's different. Something's definitely different change, because I see young dudes with their kids. I be seeing them. I be like, this is crazy. They definitely be with who their baby's mom is, or whatever they gotta deal with. You know what I'm saying? Do what they gotta do. But I feel like the discipline from a male father. I was just saying. I said to my cousin in a phone call not too long ago. I was like, we didn't have that, bro. So when Mom Deuce was at work, and we was doing whatever we wanted, running around. Those are the moments where you have no discipline. I said if there was a father there, he would have been like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. I'm gonna have you go here."
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the person that's raised with discipline and without discipline.
Right.
Because you can tell the outcomes of the older life.
Yeah.
So you like when they start getting in their 30s, you be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I can see where I lack that, because somebody didn't shape me. So that was a good pivot point in your life, because he was just basically, she seen that the discipline was already there from the eye point.
Right.
I needed enough.
I definitely needed that, and I definitely thank him for that. I think because of that, even though I'm a grown man now and he's older and might have to get a couple surgeries, I still got a little bit of that fear in my heart, because I remember, and it's nothing like when somebody knew you when you was coming up and they got you straight, and every time you see them, it's kind of like you might act crazy around other people. Around him, it's like, oh yeah, what's up? How you doing, man? Even though I'm grown, he not gonna whoop me now. I could whoop his ass, but because he instilled that fear in me at that young age, I'm like, you know what though? I ain't got nothing but respect for you. No smoke for you. Thank you for helping me.
Absolutely. So, what was your intro into, let's say, what you do now, the podcasting? Why did you get into that? How did you get into that?
Great question, Brock. So so all right, the reason why I said it like that is because I did communications when I was in undergrad at Cheney University. Okay. And I think, yep, shout out to CU. And that's right, that's right. Drop them air horns for us. I like that. Now, the thing about when I was at Cheney is that I studied communications, and I think that was my earliest experience with seeing media and seeing like, oh, you know, you can have your own show and stuff. But back then,
I feel like that's what it should be, bro. Oh yeah, for sure. Just so y'all know, this episode is sponsored by Eon. From Thursday to Sunday, come down, show some love. We got great drink specials. We got great blue, great solar. You can watch the game in here, man. Yeah, bro, definitely.
Down low, down low, down low, down low. I like my top.
Man, it fresh. I got you, nigga. I'm show these nigga what to do with one of your beats, man. I'm shutting the whole block down. Here comes the trouble, homie. I'ma tell you how the king like to ride, homeboy.
I like my beat down low and my top. You see me ride 24. Would I shop and holler at you like you're getting wood high? And your top and let it back. If you're real sick high, and your windows pitch black. I like my beat down low and my top. You see me ride 24. Would I shop and holler at you like you're getting wood high? And your top and let it back. If you're real sick high, and your windows pitch black.
we were limited because resources were limited, and in group projects it would be like one guy holds the camera, one guy hold the light, one guy, but we never switch roles. It's like, damn nigga, I want to hold the camera, but it's like, nah. You chill, bro. You're a freshman. Calm that shit down. And it's like, all right, goofy nigga. But anyway, yeah. The fuck off me. So now you gotta shake your shoulders. Don't tap me, dog. We ain't bros. But anyway, so when I was at Cheney, I that was when I first had caught the itch to do it, but I never really pursued it. So my life would take me in different places. So I ended up actually in Pittsburgh in 2009 because I went to grad school at Pitt and I was studying public and international affairs, and still didn't really do anything with media. Then I worked for years in different schools and different roles, sometimes substitute teacher, sometimes enrollment coordinator, all these different jobs across different schools in the Pittsburgh area. But then I think what happened is that I always had this creative side, and there was a time when I used to rap and do spoken word a little bit, and my name back then was Nerve Bull, and Bull like how we say it in Philly. But right. But that's what it was. So I kind of was already used to being on stage. But what would happen is that I would get in arguments with people on Facebook and almost crash my car because it's like, what the fuck you talking about, man? Jordan, it was 87 when he won Defensive Player of the Year. You don't know shit, dickhead. It would be like that. It would be, we say that a lot in Philly, but it was dickhead. But anyway, it would be just like that. And I'm like, why am I arguing with these people and it's not bringing me any fruit? Because what I started to say is that I'm not monetized right now, but I need to put myself in position where I can capitalize off of these arguments. Or instead of posting something, going back and forth, nobody shares it, and all I do is get mad and want to delete people off Facebook, let me pour all my energy into creating my own platform. I say the shit. I cut it up. I chop it up. I put it out. I give it to y'all. And y'all can say, yo, that's fire. Y'all can say, yo, that's weak. But at the end of the day, I put it up. I put it out there. I wash my hands of it, and it's done. So now y'all deal with it. And it's kind of like y'all can just go run the numbers up whether you like it or you hate it. And I feel like that led me during the pandemic in 2020 to with the stimulus check and unemployment was good.
So would you say
the
podcast was birthed in COVID-19?
Yes, it was.
Like most podcasts out there.
Right.
COVID-19 podcasts.
Right. If you're ever looking to start a podcast and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know when I'm going to get started. Well, COVID-19 is the perfect excuse for you to do so. Because, brother, she was coming over, but she can't now. Get you a microphone, be at one with yourself, and all right, we're going to move on. Yeah, lonely Saturday nights. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
Because, like, I always say, I got it from David Sanders say there's a lot of pandemicpreneurs. Yeah. And a lot of, and so, it was good. It's great that we see that now. You know what I mean? But now, we're in 2 years after or 3 years after the pandemic. Pretty much, it's still around, but 3 years later, people are
Flourishing.
Yeah, flourishing. You know what I mean? But there's people that struggle too. But and I'm saying not to ask this. What's been since you started in 2020? What would you say that's been your biggest hurdle so far?
I think that my biggest hurdle has just been able to continue to put my head down and do the work and know that the job that we do, because when you do it as much as we do, it's no longer a hobby. It's a job. It's a lifestyle change, and it's something that we take seriously. But when you invest so much money, time, energy into doing it, it can get really, really lonely and thankless. And a lot of times I feel like I'm in Dexter's laboratory. I'm the mad scientist. And being the mad scientist is cool when you put something out and people fuck with it. But at the same time, though, it also can be really lonely. So I would say the hurdle for me is just remembering that the things I'm doing, I'm a visionary, which means I can see things that other people can't see. And what I gotta remember is that I don't give a fuck about if you can't see where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I'm like Raven, and that's so Raven. I can see into the future, and I know what shit is gonna come for me. And just reminding myself not to allow people that not to allow a non-response or people not sharing whatever I'm doing to be somehow an indicator of how far I'm gonna go.
I got you.
And I just want to say this, like, I see your vision, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I scroll, if I go to you, see, this is the thing, this is what I do. I'll go on to other people's pages that are, big social media influencers. And I'm not saying you're supposed to compare yourself to anybody, but compare yourself to the value of what people are offering compared to what you're offering. That's all I'm saying to y'all. So I don't want y'all to get that confused. So anybody that's listening. So when you look at the content, when I look at your content, I scroll down from the top to bottom, I see consistency and same structure. That is the way it's supposed to be. Like, and you're at 2,000 something followers, and you're growing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're not like staggering, you're growing. And I was like, the thing about what you just said is like, lonely. You only feel lonely because God gave you your vision just like he gave everybody else their visions. And you took action on your vision, that's when it starts to feel lonely.
Mm-hmm. And entrepreneurship, which is the journey that you're on,
yes,
it gets like that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yes.
And it won't you're gonna have, I won't say seasons, but there's moments of that. And that'll probably be often, as you are in the beginning stages of your entrepreneur journey. All these two guys, me, myself too, can attest to that. He got his own business. He does the online marketing. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they still got hurdles now, but the hurdles are I'm more than likely smaller than what they were when they first started. But the key is consistency.
Yes, I agree with that. And the other thing that I would say is that what I've learned is that I think sometimes we look at things as wins and losses, and we try to keep it in black and white. And sometimes it's not really about wins and losses. Sometimes it's just about doing the work and claiming a small victory that might not feel like I just won the Super Bowl. It might just be like I was telling Lay before we got on camera, before I met y'all, is that there are times when I just really am. I feel like I'm on my own 2-yard line, and I got to drive 98 yards to score a touchdown, and I'm trying to get it all in one play. I'm trying to be on some Patrick Mahomes type shit. But a lot of times, sometimes you got to dink and dunk and get this small victory. So it's like, all right, completion right here, 2 yards, 5 yards. Oh, that was a 15-yard one. Damn, I got negative yards on that play. That was a setback, but that's all right. I'm going to keep going. And I think that's just the main thing. You're right about the entrepreneurial journey. It's just a lot of picking yourself up and looking for people where you can find a community that can also relate to what you're going through.
Absolutely.
People actually understanding your circumstance. And I always tell my kids this. I let them know, I'm like, look, I know that certain things you don't like in school, but realize that all through life you're going to have to learn, you're going
to have to go through the experience, and some things you're not going to want to do, or you don't want to do it at a certain time, but it still has to be done. Like, just when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what it is, but try to embrace it and also understand it, because everything ain't going to be how you want it to be. But you put enough work in, you will definitely see a lot of outcome, small and big. Like,
Yeah.
Small steps create the big steps. So that's just the way the cosmos work. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, what's your vision? You know what I'm saying? What's your vision, you know what I'm saying, for the Zoolander? Like, you know what I mean? You see merch. You see, what do you see?
Oh, yeah. I definitely see merch. I see a lot of things. I see merch.
What's the meaning of this podcast?
The meaning of mine.
Yes.
All right.
For you.
Man. Oh, man, I don't know if I was ready for that one, man. They're just coming at me, man. It's all good. So I have a good question though, Dre. So what I would say, so first of all, what I like to say with my show is that it's the show where I interview people that have creative careers. And the reason why I emphasize that is because I feel like a lot of us went to career day when we were at school, and there are certain careers that are promoted and celebrated. And if you only allow yourself to dream as far as what you can see in front of you, then that's what you're going to end up doing. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But for me, my show is about saying, like, well, there's a reason why that kid is fidgeting in class right now, and it's because he's not stimulated by what he's learning. So how is he able to use his critical thinking skills to figure out another way to get it out the mud and start something on his own? And that's why for my show, I want to be like, look, just as we all can attest to how this shit can be lonely, because we got a vision that nobody else has, and it's easy for them to believe that things are mirages, when it's like, no, this is not a mirage. This is a reality right here that I can see. And my show is about really giving people an opportunity to see something in somebody else and to let a light go off in them and be like, yo, well, if Dre, if he has his company right now where he's teaching you how to get traffic online, and not only how to get the traffic, but how to understand the algorithms and see, well, how can I grow? Because I got my business, I've been online, but my social media presence is not bringing me the business that I'm looking for. Or like with you, with your vintage clothing line, and just being able to just figure out how am I going to get more customers. And I just really feel like with my show, it's just really about inspiring people. And I guess what I say sometimes is how it's from daydreaming to dream job. So that would be what the show is. And to answer your other part of your question about the vision, the future, I definitely, merch is definitely something that I want to do. I want to, and also I think I want to have my own studio, because even though I have my own studio in my dining room that I converted with spending a lot of money and doing some different things to make it look like something, still I got visions of being in a whole building, or at least a room that's dedicated to me, that is like, no, I want teal walls, I want this. Because with my place, because everything is so tight, that means that there's going to be shadows on me, because we have to sit, if the backdrop is right here, I got to be like right here on the backdrop, because there's nowhere else for me to go.
I want to be. Why did we go through that problem? Every time I was editing, bro. Sure. Every time I was editing, in the backdrop there was the shadow. I was like, damn, I can't get that joint out of there, no matter how bright the lights is.
Right. It's just because the closer you are to the wall, the more the shadow's gonna be. But if your wall, right,
I'm just editing.
Right. But if your walls are already like that, now I can come up off the wall because I don't really have anything, and now it's all around me. So now it looks cleaner. And I feel like for me, eventually, what has to happen, because I see a lot of people that get money from online courses, I think is really taking everything that I learned and being an instructor and being able to market and sell a course. Yeah.
So you want to, so you want to go into merch, then you want to go into selling courses on teaching somebody
education,
how to do it. And that's definitely something that we thought about, even in our own studio, because that's where you're able to be creative at the most high, because you're in your own space and you can do the hell you want.
It's different, and I think it'll make And I think it'll make everybody feel more comfortable because, all right, just share a funny experience because I know I've been bringing this serious energy right now. But a funny experience is there was this one time about 7 months ago, beautiful, pretty young thing was over. But she was there for business purposes. She was there. Yeah.
It's how you said it. Beautiful, pretty good.
You know who you are.
He said, listen here.
That's the setup. That's the
Looky
setup.
here.
I was like, yeah.
Pretty little thing.
Yeah. I was like, all right, it's like, okay,
That was
PYT.
one of the winks, like.
Yeah. Oh, damn. But yeah. So she was over, and you know how it is when you're around the girls and the girl. Even though it's an interview, so it ain't nothing funny money going on, but still, it's kind of like, all right, she's here, and we vibing, we having a good time. But then at one point, so let's say that I'm right here, and everything is going good. But then my eyes start to change, and I look up in the corner. And I'm squinting, and she's talking to me. She's telling me about, yeah, me and my mom, we had a big problem and everything. Shit was hard back then. I was like, yeah. But I keep looking. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I saw like a black spot, but then the black spot moved. And then it kept moving, and it kept moving. I was like, I think that's an ant. I think, oh shit, not the ant. And then homie, he was getting busy for being such a small creature. He was here, he was there, and then he was up there, and then I was like, yeah. And then I remember one time I hit the backdrop because I saw it getting close to her. I hit it like that, and she was like, everything cool? And I was like, solid, everything is cool. But I saw that ant. But then once you know that this dumbass, I don't know, he must have got his brothers. He must have got the rest of the Jackson 5 because they climbed all the way up the wall up here. And it was like that. And I was like, oh yeah, earlier, I have to be honest. After the show was over, I was like, I have to be honest. There wasn't an ant right there. And I had to get rid of that. My bad. And she was like, oh yeah, I peeped.
You think he's slinking shit? She like, nah,
Nah, I peeped. I saw it. I just kept talking.
Yeah. You know how niggas ignore shit like, yeah, okay, yeah.
But the funny shit with girls though is whenever they say they gotta use the bathroom, then you start getting on some scared shit because you be like, wait a minute, you be like, think I'm a nigga. You be like, spray man, yeah, that's me. Ha, la saw bitch. And you be trying to get all that shit real quick. She be like, Eric, is everything okay there? Oh yeah, sure. You doing all this shit? Yeah.
I don't want you to come in here and she be foul.
Yeah, but then she walk in and she. But no, the messed up thing though is when you doing that cleaning, but then you like, damn, it was a whole.
in here savagely.
It was a whole roll of toilet paper, but now that shit magically disappeared. Hey, run me my 2-ply.
It's expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I get it though. That's one of your funniest experiences. What's the wildest shit somebody? Because you said it's at your crib, right? Mm-hmm. So because we had it at the crib too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like somebody come to your crib. You know what I'm saying? Do you tell them beforehand, and they just arrive? You like, oh shit. You tell them beforehand, or you just like they just arrive and just be like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because look, like I'm being real. I don't give a fuck when I was at the crib because it's like that's where. I feel like anybody that started at the crib, do your thing, fam. Yeah. Because that's where we started at too. We was really like I said, we had the big. You can check on her. You can go on the YouTube.
Check it out.
The gray backdrop. You know what I'm saying? Us three, small as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was small as hell together.
No breathing room whatsoever.
Yeah. So we was in there getting busy. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? You know how they feel when they come through.
I let people know that it's because a good friend of mine, because I interview a lot of women. I interview some guys too, but all right, so here's the thing.
You know you got a lot of women.
I got it. Yeah. Hey man, hey. I'm not going. You know, y'all ever? There was an episode. I'm gonna connect this. There was an episode of Everybody Hates Chris, where Chris and Tasha. I think Chris was over Tasha's house and he helped kill a spider. And then Tasha was so happy that he did that she kissed him.
Facts.
And then Jerome from across the street that's always asking for him, little dude from across the street asking for $1. Right. So what happened is I think he peeped it and when he saw Tasha kiss Chris. They started spreading rumors, oh yeah, like they smashed. They only like 13 years old. He's like, oh yeah, they smashed. And then whenever they would ask Chris, he'd be like, yeah, well, you know. So what I gotta make sure is that when I say that I've interviewed a lot of women, that I'm not, and when people are like, yo, did you Yeah, well, you know, I gotta make sure that I don't do that. So none of that happened. Yeah. But anyway, a good friend told me, because when you want people to know that it's at your crib, so I let them know that it's at the crib. But one of the funny things though is that I live with a real hood nigga downstairs. He now the thing is, he way more hood than me. He got a pit bull, big ass pit bull, running around the bottom floor of a duplex, looking like he be doing all this shit, and he be doing like this in the mirror and stuff. I'm like, fuck you, man, too damn loud. Stop fucking during my broadcast. It's an audio broadcast. What's wrong with you, man?
Man, calm the dog down.
Yeah,
man. I gotta record right now.
Exactly. What the yeah. But anyway,
I already know, because I got kids. They used to be upstairs. Remember? I used to be able to boom boom. I'm like, damn. Like you can't just say no to them kids.
You know
they gonna do the fuck they want.
You know what? But yeah. So what happens is sometimes what happens, all right, I would just talk about some funny shit with dude downstairs, and then I'll get back to whatever y'all want to know about the show. But the thing about this man downstairs is funny is that his dog be loud. You know what's worse than a 20-year-old playing his Bluetooth speaker in the house loud as shit, and somebody live right above him, is when somebody's damn near 50 doing that shit. Because a 20-year-old is kind of like, all right, dog.
What's good? It's your boy 𝐒𝐞𝐞 Live, man. You know I'm in the building, man. Vibship TV. Man, this episode is sponsored by You Dig. You already know what it is, man. Go on to 1844, you know what I'm saying, Center Ave right now. Go get some of Dig Pearl, man. He popping out here. Man, he even also on these podcasts and working with a lot of artists in the industry. So you need to go get that Pearl. You dig?
You know what? You young, you don't know no better. You ain't used to being on your own. But when the 40-year-old dude is playing shit, he be playing this super hard shit. I'm just like, damn, nigga, that don't sound like reasonable doubt. Like what happened to the smooth jazz? Put on some Kenny Lattimore, nigga. Where's the slow jams, nigga? And it'd be like that. So this dude, he be going crazy. But then every time when I pretend to pick up a weight at home and then I drop it and it might hit kind of hard, he'll be like, hey, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, this nigga's different. But what's crazy about his dumb ass is that the one time I needed him, he wasn't home. Because I remember one time, here's what I want to do. Even though it's your show, I'm going to tell a road rage story, and I want to hear y'all what's a crazy road rage story. So here's mine really quickly. I remember one time, so I'm in Penn Hills, and I'm on, Frankstown. I'm on Frankstown, and I remember the light, right before the light changed, there was somebody that was in the auto shop right here, but I'm the first car, but they're there. I know what they trying to get out on me. They trying to do that shit, but I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't know he not going to do this. Then the light changed. He did like that. I was like, hell, I was mad, man. I was mad. Uber driving, it triggers your road rage so bad, man. Cause like, yo, it's money to be made, nigga. Don't be slowing me down. So anyway, he wouldn't let me go. So I kept honking him, letting all the cars go around us. All right, that's fine. So then I'm like this, saw an opening, no oncoming traffic, get over the double lines, fuck out of here, get right in front of him. And then what's bad, you know it's bad, speaking of the 90s, you know it's bad when you get in front of a nigga and then you start doing the cabbage patch and stuff like, yeah, got in front of you, nigga, yeah, you ain't know you were fucking with a master, with a sensei, you ain't know all that. So anyway, then we get up to the light and then he creeps up. It's nothing like when you listening to gospel or something like this and then this nigga pull up slow and it's a small white nigga, but he's about that life. And he got it right close to me, and my window was already down. He rolled his down. He did the thing like this. Rolling his window down. He's like, you think you're funny, asshole? Huh? You think you're funny? And I was like, yeah, you know, I do a little stand-up. And so then I thought everything was over because we were at the fork in the road where it's like you can either continue down Frankstown or you can go towards Laketon. So I know I need to go towards Laketon. Frankstown, I'm thinking he's here. I'm like, acting like the bad bitches. You mad, acting all like that and shit. But then what happened though is that it's nothing scarier than I'm here, he's here, but he's here, because he said, I'm not done talking to you. So you want to see somebody drive like a bitch, then you start driving like this, all uptight and stuff, because I'm a little scared, because like, I might have grew up in the ghetto, but I ain't a hood nigga at all, so I'm like, all right, this is a little scary. Yeah. So then I remember I turned off onto my street, and my street is a no outlet street. Oh. And I pulled up to my crib, but I drove a little faster to get there. I'm thinking, all right, you know what, this nigga ain't that crazy. He ain't gonna fuck with me. Well, then it's nothing scary than when you in your car and you about to get into the house, but you see the car dum 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 Dum, 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 like Debo. Dum, 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 Debo. And then he pulls up right next to me, and what I did was I put my shades on, I turned the music up, I tried to be cool, like I'm vibing and stuff like that. Oh yeah, what's that? Al Green? Oh yeah, that's my shit, nigga. And then he pulled up, and he once again he said his favorite line: "You think you're funny, asshole? Huh? You think you're funny? What's come out, man? What's come out?" And this nigga could have only been 3'2", but when you in the car and somebody follow you to your crib and you know you ain't got shit on you, then it's like, all right, so let me full circle back to the. Let me full circle back.
Hit this nigga with the whip.
So let me full circle back to the hood nigga that lived downstairs. The one time I needed him to come out and be like, hey, who the fuck are you? Cause I was like,
wasn't there.
yeah. He damn sure wasn't, and I just needed one Lake, one Dre, one Brock. I just needed one ally to be like, yo, dog. I don't know what you got with a homie over here, but you gotta get the fuck off my property.
That's like getting robbed. Like, where the police at?
Yeah. I wanted Chico the dog to come out and bite somebody, but he didn't come. So the way it ended was, dude saw that I was bitch made, so I just sat there, ain't do shit. Realized that how come somebody said, yo, next time you do that, yo, just drive to the police station or drive to a public place or something where you can at least have some witness. Because look, as I'll get a semi-serious right now. As young black men, we understand that there are a lot of different challenges, and like, and I'm gonna, in a serious moment, I want to definitely say, rest in peace to Jimmy Wapo, because that hurt, and rest in peace to Mike Tomlin too, because both of those brothers, I didn't know Mike. I only follow him on social media, but I saw the impact that he had on the city and the artists that he worked with, and I saw that he was moving, and even though he was very well known here, he had, to me, the kind of talent where all the music you see us being made today, he made that, and he could have been profiting off it. So I don't know the details about what happened. I just know, like, yo, he's only 30 years old. That's fucked up. We black men out here, and that's not cool. So I say all that to say, and with Wapo, I actually worked at his school, the Hill House Passport Academy, and I knew him as Trayvon Smart. I didn't know who Jimmy Wapo was until he passed away, and I was like, wow, this Trayvon Smart guy that I registered in the school, that was actually the same guy as Jimmy Wapo. And so I say that because I want to use them as an example of, as young black men, whether you're in the streets or not in the streets, we still, sometimes it can be scary dealing with us, like black men that we don't know. So I say all that to say, the reason why I was asking y'all about your road rage stories is because I know with me is that I want to live. I hate when people like Mike Tomlin or Jimmy Wapo or Nipsey Hussle, whoever you want to name, King Von, whoever you want to name. I hate when our greats get killed and they lose their life, and then people all of a sudden want to be like, black men deserve to grow old. Well, yeah, we deserve to grow old, but we don't deserve to grow old because we lost our brother. We deserve to grow old when our brother is still alive. So for y'all, all right, but that was this semi-serious part. Well, actually, what are your thoughts about that? Is about being in the world and just making it back home to your kids? Like, how does that hit y'all?
I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, I thought this shit was Grand Theft Auto. I just thought it was a game. And it wasn't even on purpose. It was just because, you know, what's around you, and you're so used to seeing it and doing wild stuff, but you have certain things occur that happen to you, and you realize, like, oh, I could really be out of here. Or seeing, like, the things that you did and somebody else do it, and they're gone. You be like, you start to, unfortunately, ask yourself, like, why am I so important? I done did that a couple times, bro. Like, why? What made me different than this person for his life to be taken?
And yours not.
And yeah,
I say that all
and
the
so
time.
so many different situations in my life. Like,
how did I make it?
Yeah, and I look at my kids and I just let them know all the time. Like, look, I just want to let you know that I love you. I'll just say it out of the blue. I'll just call their name for no reason. I'm like, yeah, you need something? No, I just want to say I love you. You know what I mean? Just because I want them to understand that, man, I'm here for it all, and I want y'all to know that I don't want y'all to ever have to deal with half of the shit that I had to deal with. Like, I'm not saying that my family or my household made it any different. I'm just stating as once you, like you said, once you step outside, it's a whole different fucking world.
Right.
Facts.
Like, and that's the scariest thing to know, that like when you get older, you think of like past 25, you know what I mean? Like all of us are past 25. You get to really realize like, yo, this shit was not a game.
Not again.
This shit's real. People are losing their lives left and right, and you're literally, like how they say Chirac, you're literally in Afghanistan every day and not even knowing it for battling your folks, battling the cops, battling people that don't want to give you a job, battling the people that's at your job that you got now because they don't think that you can advance, battling yourself. And once you realize and understand who you are as a person, like you really get that you're not crazy. You can grow. And you are somebody, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, bro. Like, honest to God. So going back to what you were stating, it's just, it's a better feeling now. But before, I used to be like, hey, whatever I got to do, whatever the cost is.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that mentality switched out in so many different ways.
You've graduated from that point in your life.
For sure. Because every black male has to have this happen. And I know we all went through it. With any type of thing that we went through, not understanding later on, like, damn, like I grown. And you see like the young kids, just like Brock. I think we was talking about it on the last episode or the episode before. He was like, yeah, this generation is crazy. And I had to sit there and say to myself, like, bro, they're not. We just evolved. We just see things differently. Because before, if this was 10 to 15 years ago, we would have been like, oh yeah, that happens all the time.
And as you're saying that, bro, I'm actually thinking about when I was a teenager. Like I wasn't in the streets heavy, you know, like these two. I mean, I'm familiar with the streets.
Allegedly. So no. I'm messing with y'all. I'm messing with like these two. Yo, come on out. Yo, come on out, dog. They got us.
they know about the streets is what I mean, than more than I so than I do.
Right.
But I hung with people that was in that lifestyle. But like my thing was I've always been a type of dude. I like to have a good time. So but like my friends, they never knew that. But like if something went down, then yeah, I'm going ride. You know what I mean? Now, thankfully, I never had a situation where I had to do anything crazy or I was in any fights. But, but like Lay was saying, as you look from that point to where you're at now, I know for me as an adult, like you were asking about the road rage, like I'm driving back from Delaware. It's 4 hours, and like there's a stretch in the once you hit the Pennsylvania line. And it's like, I don't know, like, these motherfuckers, the speed limit is 40, 45. I don't be trying to do that, bro. I be
of course
trying to
not.
70. Yeah, definitely the 70.
What kind of loser drives a speed limit?
But and then you got people just cruising, like, and don't get me wrong, it's the scenery.
You got all day, I guess, bro.
Allegedly. My God. Like,
no, I'm gonna be real.
I had to.
You're super right, because
Yeah, man.
when I was in Atlanta, even in Miami, they speed limit is fast. You know what I'm saying? I like that speed. So like,
what's theirs like?
It's like 70.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's like
but ours, we got to go out of the city for it to be 70. Theirs in the city.
It's like,
that's crazy.
But you only gonna get that on the highway.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't in no rural. Well, I don't know. In any rural area, it's probably like
you come back to Pittsburgh, it's slow as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely slow as hell.
Oh my God, people just driving slow as hell.
And that's the point that I was trying to make. Motherfuckers like, I'm trying to be somewhere.
Yeah.
But at the same, and I ain't gonna hold you, like, I'm going around it. Like, we're literally just it's like a big ass hill we're going down, and these niggas is doing 40 on the hill. I know you're in trucks, man. The coast, when you're coasting and your foot's not on the gas going down the grade of the hill, the momentum, you're pushing 65, 70. Yeah. So these motherfuckers want to ride they brake. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
This is open road. You can literally see the whole highway in front of you because the grade of the hill is so steep. Nobody was coming. So I floor it, bro. I definitely punch a $120 going down this hill.
Oh my gosh.
But like, granted,
He's
none
on
of
fire.
these people were like You know, I'm gonna get this nigga. I can't believe they do. You got some people blowing the horn, but no, but like I said, I only say that to say this, like, if somebody were to approach me now, even with the, me going around them at a stoplight, bro, you know, if it's not an immediate threat to my well-being or my life, you got it, bro. You got it, play. And I pride myself somewhat on being, somewhat right, because I've had people, hey, you going too fast, bro. You need to slow it down. You're absolutely right. I do need to slow it down.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Because there's other dynamics that
I be in the whip
So
with him.
I be like,
I be like, bro, we're
you right. And I
So
it resonates with me. You right. I'm gonna slow it down.
You got that
brother.
left foot.
Everybody, but they be saying the same thing about me.
Engaged though, I be like, I'm just trying to. I make up stories. My wife's pregnant. I gotta go. I just got the call, bro. That's why I was doing the wild shit. But because I know how niggas is today.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
They gonna say I don't give a fuck. You get
But
this ticket.
I do that because I know how niggas is today. I know how people are they like you said, dude followed you to the crib.
Yeah, that was.
I know what you about to do. Like you said,
that was a different.
You know what I mean?
That was a different experience.
And that's crazy that you talking about the experience. I ain't never had no road race experience because I ain't never like got approached like that. But I remember me and my man LaSalle, we was in the car, and I never forget it. Like we was riding, and it was like they was getting into it. Window to window, side to side.
I'm gonna fuck you up, man.
This is back in the day. He had the old school Benzo. So bro,
I know the joint you talking about, the silver joint.
The all black joint.
Oh, all
so
black.
it's like he was like, bro, dude's like, you know what I mean? Saying something in the window. He got I said, bro, you better not roll that window down. I said, that A-Rab nigga gonna spit right in here. I already knew what it was here for. I was like,
Not the A-Rab nigga.
Yeah. You seen it in his mouth like.
He was getting ready.
I'm like, bro, don't do it. I said, you do that, bro, it's gonna be a problem.
Swear.
Because what you're going to end up doing is you're gonna smack his shit on purpose. Because your anger gonna kick it. You gonna press on the gas and fuck his shit up. Like, cause I ain't gonna give a fuck. Bow! Nigga, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, all about that. Soon as somebody do that to you, I already know what's happening. He's like, I was like, yeah, don't do it, bro. I was like, cause he already knew, like, that A-Rad dude was gonna spit in the ride. He was gonna spit in the ride. He was like,
that's some other type shit.
He rolled his shit all the way down, nigga, quickly.
He didn't know he was banging his shit.
Damn, we about to get canceled.
You would have jumped out
Allegedly.
Oh my God. No, but those, I think, like I said, those are the, those our experiences do shape us.
I got that laugh too. Because at the end, she be like,
I thought I was the only one that heard that.
Nah, because I got the roadcaster.
Out at the end,
She definitely be doing that shit. She be like, I'm finished. Yo, really quickly, this is really random, but speaking of the 90s, how come I shared this clip on Instagram before? It was an episode of Family Matters, and they was all at Mighty Weenie because that's where Eddie and Steve all worked. And this bad chick, it was this bad chick and a young Terrence Howard, and they all walked in. So Terrence Howard and his lady, they arguing with each other. So they get mad. So she's like, man, I'm dumping you. I'm gonna kiss the first guy I see. And then Steve walks in and she starts kissing him. And then the point I'm getting at is at one point, I think she said something like, we are done, and then he said something like, I'm almost finished. But the fact that they got that on a family show, and I didn't know what that meant back then, but it's just hilarious. So somehow that woman at the end of the laugh track was like,
Just to go into that, like, deep things about, comedy, because, like, you're a big 90s person, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I be watching, like, old school cartoons. I said, I'm sitting here, the best thing I know, y'all know about Tubi. So on Tubi, I'm on the little menu joint. I'm like, they got Tom and Jerry on here. I said, this cartoon was abusive.
On site,
yeah, it was.
On site beat.
Yeah.
On literally teaching you how to whoop a nigga ass.
On site.
Catch a nigga slipping.
On site.
On
Every
site.
time they seen each other, it was
Bro,
on site.
doing abusive through the whole show, bro. There's no talking.
Facts.
Yeah.
There's straight
No
music.
Yeah.
Bang! Nigga be like, oh, he done fucked him up. Hit him a knot on his head. You know what I mean? Hit him with an iron board, like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like that whole, like, that's what I loved about those type of cartoons. I said, babe, these are classics. I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said this to somebody on the podcast. I can't remember. I said, if you go back and watch movies, it's more talking than it is music. Listen to Godfather.
Oh, classic.
Less music,
Yeah.
more talking.
Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface. They had music in there, but it
wasn't
less
talking.
music,
Good-
more talking.
Goodfellas.
Like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
You heard the liveliness of a communication between two humans in an actual scene instead of
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what I loved about those classic, original movies. So what's the most original thing? Well, my point I'm getting at is the most original thing that you love about the 90s.
I think, well, what I would say is that I love the way that activism, partying, and having fun was a part of hip-hop culture. Because now I feel like what happens, and this is with all due respect to if somebody is a Sexy Red or somebody's a Meg Thee Stallion or somebody's the Baby, whoever they are, I feel like what we have now is now we have people there. I don't see as much black pride and I don't see as much unity. So now it's more like, because don't get me wrong, like I was there, I remember Jay-Z and Nas beefing, or if you want to talk about Big and Pac, like I'm aware of all that. But I think what was really fly about the 90s is that you had to be original. And I feel like there was a fresh energy. And even when I watched Martin, it wasn't just that he was really funny, but it was also he was rebellious, because when I go back to Martin, what I loved about it is that Martin was actually like it was like in living color, but it was on broadcast television. Because man, right about now, y'all, I guess y'all think I'm acting like a bitch. And he would say, ain't this about but? And he would say that, but I liked it because that's the way that we talk, and he wasn't afraid to do that then. And it was a lot harder to do it then, because somebody's taking a risk on a comedian who, even though he might have had Talking Dirty After Dark, or he might have been in Boomerang, he wasn't Martin the way we know him before he started the Martin show. Right. So to me, the bravery that it took for him to do that in a world where, he's probably meeting with a bunch of white people, they're probably telling him you can say this, you can't say that. And then just that whole moment, even if you think about an NWA, where people try to say, no, don't say that, you can't talk about the cops abusing black people. So I feel like what it was, the 90s, I guess, to sum up, is I love the fearlessness, and I love how I love the versatility. I love how you could be somebody that could be partying, you could be getting girls, but you could also be like, like fuck the police, or you can make a fight to power. And I feel like that was a part of it. It wasn't like, even when you look at Martin's apartment, there's a and he was in the movie Do the Right Thing, but there's a Do the Right Thing poster on there. And I think that was intentional why he did that. I miss another thing. If you look at some of the 90s pages, they'll always highlight that if you look at Living Single, or you look at The Cosby Show, classics, or you look at Martin, yes, classics, they all were wearing HBCU gear on the show. And it was like subliminally.
I forgot about that.
And subliminally, they were telling you that, black people, we go to college, we gonna have fun, we gonna party. Because you see there's stuff like Freaknik, there was always partying and stuff going on, but I feel like it was like certain things, we had BET Uncut. So if we wanted to see all that sexy stuff, there was BET Uncut, but now BET Uncut is now BET Every Day. Absolutely. And that's and it's like everything I'm not against people rapping about sex, rapping about whatever they doing, but it's just like, let's get back to where it's a time and a place, because sometimes people be doing the most, and it's just like, Sexy Red, we don't need to know what your insides look like, we don't need to know what your guts look like if that's how you want to get down, I like your voice to turn me on, I get you, if that's what you into, that's cool, but you don't gotta post everything and then talking about I was hacked.
Bullshit.
Were you though?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just weird.
It's like
that
you saw the nigga had the camera.
It's weird that she became hacked right before Drake dropped the gem with her. Bend that ass over.
Right.
Let y'all
He
coochie
said leak
breathe.
a clip
Say,
Right.
wait a minute.
and go up.
Right.
So it kind of like goes together.
But it's like
Marketing, yeah.
the industry is
definitely marketing. Yeah.
I think that is just that at the higher ups they understand that they're making more money off of us exploiting ourselves. Like at one point in time, okay, I'm a big fan of James Brown.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? His documentaries and everything. Just
This
watching
is a
him.
man's world.
I don't know why. I just love his music. This be like, he was really on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though he's on drugs, he was on that shit. Like, James,
out.
that man. Like,
Shout out.
but he understood like controlling his own narrative.
Right.
He understood that in his industry.
He did.
Same thing with Ray and them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they really birthed, to me personally, when you go back to them roots, it's like, bro, they the roots of what's everything's going on.
Right.
Because they had to stand in the middle of a crisis of, oh, you're performing at these venues or that venue.
Right.
So it's like growing in this aspect of being original artists to saying, okay, these black people make good music, so we're just going to make money off them, right? We're just going to make good money off them. No matter if they was Jews or whatever they was. I don't know who's running these labels. But I know they ain't our culture, so it's like, we're going to make money off them, right? Then it gets to a point where we're at now, and they're like, somebody makes a song, you got somebody like a Master P
Oh, okay.
coming in.
The Twilight.
But you got
What a
somebody, you got somebody like a Master P coming in the game, and then there's R&B, and there's not a lot of hardcore rap, and then they're
Yeah.
breaking this chain, and then they're like, oh. They see the analytics and they're like, okay, we can make more money
Yeah.
off of that.
Right.
So it's like it changes into, if that becomes the new norm, which is going on, that original essence of that 90s, that culture, that love, that vibe,
Yeah.
then it's like it's dying because of that situation of the exploitation of making the income off of all
Right.
depression and brokenness.
And I feel like what's happening now is that the 90s, because there was no social media, people actually, first of all, I feel like beef was different because one thing, so I'm not a street dude at all, but one thing, I listen to the Joe Budden podcast all the time, and I get educated a lot. And I like being a guy that wasn't in the streets, but still can appreciate street culture, can appreciate the music that came from that, but not actually actively participate in it. And what I love about listening to Joe is they'll talk about terms that get said all the time online, like, yo, next time I see you is on site. And what they talk about on the show is how on site doesn't work when I want it to be on site. On site isn't I see you, now it's on site. On site means I might not see you.
Yep.
You might be walking behind me.
Facts.
But because I said on site, it's like sometimes when you write a check, it's like, yo, you gotta cash that. And I think that back in the day with beef and everything, it was a real thing. It wasn't IG captions. It was like, or if it's just a battle rap, we go in there and we write in bars and stuff. But now, like, I'm looking at Joe Budden. All right, so Joe Budden doesn't like Drake's album, and Drake, he writes this whole dissertation about how messed up and how, Joe, you're a failed rapper and you're all
killed
this.
him.
He did kill him, but I didn't like it all the way because to me, well, first of all, because I have my opinions. I have strong opinions about Drake. I think he's crazy talented, but I feel like he goes for the low hanging fruit too much. And I feel like with him, what he does is he's almost like this podcast. He's figured out a system. He knows how to operate that system at a high level. But to me, he never truly evolves that system into something that goes beyond just selling music. And so, but I won't get too far off on that. So anyway, I kind of shared some of what Joe was thinking. But even if I didn't, I felt like you're coming at somebody just said your album was bad. They said you hang around with Yachty. He said all this stuff, and Drake responded. You have the right to respond. But what I didn't like about it though is that it's like, yo, dog, you a rapper. Like go ahead. You don't got to do this with him. He's a podcaster now. He's a retired rapper. Because when it came to Pusha T, it's like, no, you got to have Jay Prince be like, yeah, just chill out. No, don't drop that. But it's like, yo, we rappers. And I feel like back in the '90s, it wasn't this fake kind of IG. Hey, you didn't look at my DM. You left me on scene. So now I don't like you. It wasn't all that goofy shit. And I feel like in the 90s also, what I miss So I'm a big R&B fan. I miss the groups, and now it's all solo artists because because
They
TikTok
don't want to pay for them groups. Yeah.
right. That's true too because labels figured out like oh yeah we don't gotta pay all y'all. We just need him. We just need Beyonce. We just need Justin Timberlake. We just need Michael. And I just feel like back then it was more of you had to work harder. There was more artists developing, and you had to work harder on your individual skill. You couldn't just put on IG, hey, I'm a masseuse, but you ain't never massage nobody. But then you start inboxing people talk about some, yo, I can hook you up with the massage for the low, and then a woman gets there and it's just like, yo, what the fuck is this? You don't know pressure points. You don't know nothing about this shit. You don't got no technique. Right. So I feel like it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to perpetrate. It's a lot easier now. Now, even though Lay does have an official business, let's say Lay was fake. It's a lot easier for Lay to steal somebody else's shit, to put up a couple vintage things, to get a mannequin and be like, oh yeah, I do this shit. And it's just like, well, who gonna check him? And it's like, I feel like back then there was more authenticity, and now it's a lot of fake shit.
Well, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I say that because when you first said that, I immediately thought of the Jay-Z and Nas beef when Nas
Fuck Jay-Z.
made that either. But it was
Going down.
Put it together. I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas.
Jay did that. This wasn't. Was there beef behind that? Let me ask you that. Was there beef behind that? Do y'all know?
Yeah.
There was actual beef.
There was real beef.
There was real
Well,
beef.
because if you listen to Super Ugly, he say me and the boy AI got more in common than just balling and rhyming. Get it? Or he said more in common than just balling and rhyming. Get it? More in common. And he started, because apparently Jay and Nas, they dated the same woman who became Nas's baby mom, who gave us Destiny Jones.
You know
who
who
was
did
beautiful.
that? The one stone, the bitch. Excuse my language. But it was like, the two birds with one stone, the females in the middle,
Yeah, Eskimo brothers.
Man, she
But
does
it actually
Get out my igloo.
this though actually helped his career. Nas is what I'm talking about.
It did.
At the time, yeah, bro. Because at the time when Jay-Z put that out,
it did though.
What was niggas wasn't listening to Nas, bro.
Right.
Let's
And-
keep it up,
And when
bro.
people- and-
Niggas heard the
No, time out. Wasn't that after One Mic? Wasn't that after I Know I Can Be What I
I
Want to Be?
think that was before.
that was before.
That was before.
That was
because
definitely before
because
that.
I think I think that's
let me
on
look it up.
God's son. And or actually no. Actually, I might.
I'm about to Google that.
Wait, hold on. Because Stillmatic, because the year that Jay dropped Blueprint, I think Nas dropped Stillmatic, and that's where Ether is. And then I think God's son came in like 2002. The beef was, I think, 2001. But either way, there was real smoke there because I sampled your voice. You was using it wrong. You made a hot line. I made a hot song. So it's kind of like that because on Dead Presidents, because that comes from on Nas on Whose World Is This? I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Right.
And then Jay took it and did Dead Presidents. I'm out for presidents to represent me. Say what? And then there's that shit right there. So they got a lot of history.
And like I said, I say that because
But I like the love that they
without the
have now.
ether,
it
bro, I don't think, like you said, he made the album before initially that we heard the ether and the Jay-Z disc, but like Jay-Z was popping.
One Mic was done in 2001.
Yes.
Let's start there. Okay. I just want to say that for this. When did Belly come out?
Was it 98?
Bro was popping. I ain't trying to hear that.
But no. Wait, hold on.
2001. Let's be
Wait.
Jay-Z was killing.
Being popping.
Nobody was talking about Nas.
You know what's funny?
I'm a Jay-Z fan. I'm not saying I'm not. Me and him
I'm
is
not
only.
saying he wasn't.
I'm just saying. Me and him are only a day apart. December 4th. I'm the 5th. All I'm saying is this.
Hold on though. But nobody. The relevance was different, bro. The relevance was different. Jay-Z was definitely.
I'm listening.
Jay-Z was up, yeah. And he had
was,
Rockefeller. That's what it was. Because now you got Beans coming. Like, Jay was on a different. Like, I know what you're saying about Nas, but Jay was, at that point, Jay was on a different level. It wasn't until Nas did that he just snatched the crown from Jay. And now it's like, oh, Jay is mortal. Oh, I can actually hurt Jay. Because it's like, go ahead.
And with that comes a new wave of. Oh, Nas is that.
Right.
Nick, did you hear Ether?
Right.
No.
Fuck Belly. I'm not saying fuck it like that, but I'm just saying no. Whatever project
When did
Nas
he do
was
that?
doing before the Ether.
I made you look. Like you're a slave to a page.
That was the year after. That was 2002 on Godson.
Yeah,
That's Godson. That's Godson.
That was crazy.
That was the year.
No, but he had that one jam on the old album like I'm a Gun.
That's
That's
That's still Matic. That's still Matic.
Still Matic. Right.
Woke up this morning.
But
when he's talking about himself as a gun. It's an old classic.
But my point
I gave
is,
you power.
Niggas
might be that one.
You wasn't walking around hearing niggas singing
It was written.
I mean, come on, bro.
Every time that station they shooting came on, got yourself a gun, one mic, bro. It's to the point, bro. Boys, I got one mic on my
and he had Jada Kiss on that joint. Jada killed that joint.
Nah, bro. That's
my bad. That's on my list right now.
It's like when 50 came out and Jaw was still when Jaw was putting out music.
I'm not saying. Listen here. Yes, they was when it came to R&B. When R&B, that just made people realize that he wasn't hard like that. Everybody knew that.
Right.
He had the hip hop banger. I mean, he had the R&B banger.
Without Jada, there's no Drake.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
It's a fact, bro.
Jay-Z was old. Jay-Z was overshadowed.
I'm in your evolving version.
His career.
I'm just saying they
kind of revived.
I'm just saying they neck and neck, and for that Ether was better than that.
Of course,
Ether was better.
I don't know about. So I feel like this. I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like
absolutely. I agree.
I don't know.
Ether was better.
I feel like Takeover was more clever though, because to me he said 4 albums in 10 years. Nigga, I could divide. One of them shits was one of them shits. That's a one hot album every 10-year average. Like
that's why. I feel like the question was the real beef. Because I feel like when you made the statement about everything now is social media and shit they weren't doing that then.
Right.
When he said that line, nigga, I was like, what? This nigga ran down his numbers.
All I'm saying is
ran down his numbers. And that was strategic.
They play Ether more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and Ether's a word. It's kind of like how Eminem gave us a word just by making the song stand. Now we all say stand just because of M.
I'm saying
that's a great song.
He lit a fire under his ass with that.
Yeah.
By strategically doing him like that, he lit a fire under his ass.
Put it like this.
Now,
it's different.
Nas
is Nas, but you cannot try to put one under the other. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. So we gonna leave it at that.
We gonna
leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. Well, seemingly he was docile.
But last question before we get up out of here.
Okay.
Because I know you the 90s king, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 5 shows that you would bring back if you had to bring them back that would help the culture today. That would help the culture if they just will watch these shows.
A Different World.
I knew he was going to say that.
Living Single.
For sure.
I would say the Fresh Prince, but Uncle Phil's gone. Well, I guess they got Bel Air, but I don't really count that.
It ain't called 𝐒𝐞𝐞 Cocaine. This ain't right.
I didn't even watch the second season. So
it's good. I like it.
I do like it too.
It's cool. I was locked in on the
for
first
the future,
season.
but not for us.
It's not supposed to be the same.
But he said I'm saying bring back.
Bring back. Okay, so
even you bring it back, they're not going to make it the same.
No, I'm saying if they could.
So living.
I'm just saying if it was with the fairy tale world.
Living Single, A Different World, Cosby Show. I actually feel like one of my favorite shows is Moesha. Like Moesha was one.
She definitely had. She had Kobe on that bitch.
Right, she had a lot of people on it. Yeah. Moesha, and then the 5th one.
It's me.
It's me. Yeah. Finally realizing my responsibility. That's my shit. Yeah.
And the Parkers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my shit.
That was my shit. But
she made you want to get out of it.
Okay. You know what? I would say
Press it, Steve.
I would say the Parenthood. I feel like the Parenthood is one.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought of another one. Another one that niggas sleep on is Rock. Because a lot of people.
Wow, that black ass nigga with the bald head.
Yeah. But they was getting into it. It only lasted 3 seasons, and part of the reason why Fox got rid of it is because the season before Rock ended, Martin came and there was more of a shift in the culture to have more laughs, and Rock was more like serious shit.
Yeah.
Like
Rock was dead.
I ain't never
Rock
seen
to
that.
me was
check it out.
Roseanne.
ROC.
That's what to me. I looked at it as he was like the show was kind of like I looked at it. I was watch Rock more so than fucking Roseanne.
Right.
And like I said, that's.
But yeah, those are
My grandma used to be watching that Medlock.
Oh yeah, that long as
Perry
motherfucker,
Mason,
bro.
In the Heat of the Night, all that old shit.
Sidney Poitier, bro.
Yeah.
Timothy, you remember Timothy?
Yeah.
Passions.
Yep, that's Rock right there. Yep, Rock and Eleanor.
Oh, I never.
Yo, that's
I remember, dude.
And,
That was
and
old.
Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx was on that show too. He played his crazy next door neighbor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It only lasted
Jamie
3
Foxx show was
seasons.
good too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was a classic.
come on. Yeah, it was.
Jamie Foxx show was a good classic.
It was.
I love you said. I love how you said living single too, because that shit that was my
Woman
show.
culture.
Like my sisters put me
But
on that.
But I be learning from it, because you know what's funny is that I pay way too much for this dumbass Xfinity cable and shit. I know niggas be like, damn, dog, you still got cable? I got the Fire Stick. Like, easy to get out of my house. But anyway, I need to upgrade. But anyway, so there's this channel on there called 𝐒𝐞𝐞.
You'll love it when you do.
I will. They call you're gonna like the way you look.
I guarantee it.
Allegedly. Anyway, but there's this channel called 𝐒𝐞𝐞 TV, and they got all this shit, and they got like all the UPN shows. So they got Half and Half. They got
that's my shit too.
Half and Half, Eve, the Parkers, Girlfriends.
Girlfriends was
They just got them all. Oh yeah,
remember that
Girlfriends.
show.
Now technically Girlfriends is the 2000s, but still, Girlfriends was a fire ass show. I be watching that stuff, and even though I'm a man and everything, I be feeling what they going through. I, like as far as like, oh okay, so that's what they be saying when they be doing that shit. And I feel like, to me, living single, even though it was centered around the women, I feel like they still had the men there that were backing them up, because in one episode where. Right, Overton, Wakefield Jones. He's a Browns fan, but yeah, there was the one episode where Kyle's boss, he was lying about what he did with Regine on a date, and then when they came back to the card game and the women actually beat the men, Kyle's boss was like, I did not come here to lose to these bitches. And when he said it like that, Kyle was like, who you calling a bitch? And they got, but just that show was good, because the way that it showed that, the black man, he had his black sisters back. And it was something like that. And I feel like we need to just see more examples of black men and women working together. Because one thing I like about y'all is that y'all interview a lot of guys, but you interview women too. And I feel like some male podcasters out there, they be on that shit where they be trying to divide us, and some of the female podcasts too, where it's like, let's just have the gender wars, where it's like, women, and I hate that shit, and I don't get that vibe. Up here, when I watch y'all, it's just like, it's three homies having fun. They invite the fourth person who's the guest, and it's all fun, and it's not about that toxic shit. But I feel like a lot of times what happens is we feed into toxicity in a much different way than I feel like we did in the 90s.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey.
Damn, I just woke up.